restoration and sustainable management of nature. Live now to our colleague Cal Nasman, who's in Dubai for us.
Yeah, that's right. Final days really here, and still plenty of discussions over a final text at COP28. And that will be a task for the next couple of days. Already we're hearing from the presidency here that they want to try to wrap this up on time. As we know, that's a rare occurrence. Meanwhile, today's focus is on those themes: nature, land use, and oceans. To discuss more about that, I'm joined by Saboto Schofield Caesar. He's the Minister of Agriculture of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Thank you for coming by to speak with us. You have such a big knowledge of agriculture in your region in the Caribbean. Just walk us through, how is climate change affecting agriculture and farmers there?
In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we continue to grapple with the vagaries of climate change. I can recall October the 30th, 2010, when Hurricane Thomas destroyed 98% of our banana industry. Then in the year 2020, we had the worst drought in 50 years. And this year, my farmers, the farmers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and in other islands in the OECS, they had to grapple with the issue of a heat wave that destroyed over 40% of the vegetables, definitely impacting on issues of food security.
You talk about hurricanes all the way to heat waves and droughts. What's the best way to adapt to those changes? What do you hope that the world can come up with here at this climate summit to help those farmers?
Well, I am happy that a global fund has been established, because
that's that loss and damage fund from day one.
Fund.
Right.
Because it's very important to note that globally we have established that there is a political will to fight against the vagaries of climate change. We're working within our countries to have the requisite legislative frameworks, but importantly, we have to mobilize the factors of production: land, labor, and capital. And as developing countries, it's very important that we work on ensuring that we benefit from the fund so that our farmers can pursue strategies for adaptation.
You see yourself a bit as well as an advocate for farmers. We don't hear that word too much mentioned at these climate summits. Why do you think that is, and how can you serve as an advocate for people that are out there growing our food?
Well, first of all, I really must note that I am happy that agriculture is at the table, because sometimes when you are not at the table, you end up being on the menu. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to represent the farmers in the hemisphere and also the policy makers in agriculture. We are going to work collectively on a multilateral platform to ensure that we come out of COP with a collective policy to fight the vagaries of climate change.
One of the themes today, land use. We were actually speaking earlier, and you were mentioning that land, in terms of what's available to farm in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it's not very much.
In my country, we have 16,000 acres of land left for agriculture only. We have 10,000 registered farmers, so we have an average, the average farmer in my country, we are working on less than an acre of land. And because of that, when we are impacted by these natural disasters, you have a shift in cultivation, you have persons who are knocked out of production because of infrastructural damage, and it is leading to the whole issue of food insecurity. We continue to pursue the goal for food sovereignty and food security in my country and in my region.
Ministers of agriculture are not often even invited to show up at these summits. You are here. Do you think that's a bit of an oversight, that more ministers of agriculture should be here?
Well, I'm really happy that the FAO and IECA, working in the hemisphere, that they have worked to ensure that the ministers of agriculture, that we are here, because we are aware that if current trends in food production, if we continue with those trends, by 2050, we can have a globally food insecure world. And it means that we have to work with the small farmers throughout the world to increase production and productivity.
All right, Saboto Schofield Caesar, Minister of Agriculture of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Thank you for
Beautiful
coming by to
islands,
speak
St.
with us.
Vincent and the Grenadines.
Thank
A
you so
pleasure.
much.
Thank you.
Hope to come visit one day soon.
I'll welcome you soon.
All right, thank you very much. I've got the invitation already. Today, that's the focus, land use, oceans, nature. That's the big theme here. But of course, as we move closer and closer to the end of COP28, lots of focus behind the scenes in these rooms over here on the negotiations over a final text.
Carl Nasman, thank you very much indeed.